Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome back to The Life's Good. And as you can see, I'm here on plot 24 once again. Now this week has been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions and experiences. Lots of things have been happening here, and consequently I haven't had much time to get up here onto the plot. However, my daughter did help me last weekend, and together we managed to clear a bit more of the ground, and indeed she surprised me by spending 4 hours here one morning on her own and did a bit more for me. So that's absolutely wonderful, and fair play to her. So well done, Beverly. You're an absolute superstar. You've been helping me here on the plot, and she has taken an interest in the gardening, and she's keen to get involved in all the things that I'm doing here as part of The Life's Good. So you may see a little bit more of Bev as my videos come on. Now, that's one daughter. My regular subscribers, viewers, will probably remember last year the worrying news that my daughter Rachel in America was diagnosed with cancer. And she has been going through the best part of a year's worth now of chemotherapy and treatments and all manner of things, and it's been a very, very difficult year for everybody, not least her. And she is the bravest, most courageous, most incredible girl I ever knew or have ever known. And this week she video called me with the most fantastic news that she has beaten cancer. By all accounts, the treatments have been working, and the cancer is in pretty much full remission. She's been given a sort of all clear in terms of the cancer, and her husband, the family out there, and all of us over here are absolutely thrilled and over the moon with that news. So brilliant, brilliant, brilliant happy news this week in that respect. Alongside all of that, a few weeks ago I was sat in the local pub, and a conversation struck up between some family and the landlady of that pub, and she cottoned on to the fact that I enjoy a bit of gardening and asked if I'd be interested in looking after or helping to maintain the gardens around the pub. And I took a look, we had a chat, and I thought, yeah, this could be a good venture, this could be good fun. So I agreed to take on board looking after the pub gardens. The spin-off from that is that several other people said, oh, you do gardening, I could do with a gardener looking after my garden. And it sort of snowballed very quickly to the point where I've got a handful of clients, if you like to call them that, who now employ The Life's Good as their personal gardener stroke handyman, whatever, around their homes. And I've picked up quite a bit of work, and it's got to the point very, very quickly where I've had to have some little business cards made up with The Life's Good logo on and my details. And in addition, I've had some magnetic car signs made for my car. So as I'm working and driving around, these are advertising my skills as a gardener stroke home maintenance person, but all under the banner of The Life's Good stroke garden and home. And I have been fully busy this week. Honestly, you would not believe. In this village, in this area, there are a lot of houses, a lot of big houses, and people that don't have the time, they have busy lives, busy modern lives, or they're elderly, or whatever the reason, and they're struggling to keep up with the maintenance of their gardens around their homes. And it became obvious that there was a need for this. And the landlady at the pub and a few others have said, AJ, this is something this village needs. You would do very well doing this. So we've taken it on board. We're trying to promote our little business, and I'm getting ever busier and having more and more inquiries. And going back to what I was saying, subsequently I have not had an awful lot of time to get up here on the plot, but rest assured, once things settle down and I can get into a routine, the plot will be brought back up to speed, and I will be getting it ready for the winter and sowing and growing. I put a little video together of a few of the things I was doing this week, some of the gardens, the before and after pictures, things like that. Have a quick look at this. Well, as you can see from that, there's quite a few lovely gardens there that I've been lucky enough, fortunate enough to be able to bring back up to a reasonable level and much more pleasant to look at and use for my clients. Most of those were taken in and around the pub, but there were a few other private ones thrown in there as well. Now then, back to plot 24. The raspberries now, as you can see, all standing up. I've tied them into the wires. I showed you in my last video, I had the stakes in the ground. I've attached some strong wires here, 2 wires, one about 18 inches off the floor and another one a couple of feet above that. And Bev and I came up here shortly after getting the wires on, and we've tied all these canes in. I noticed one of these has snapped off. That's a shame. It's actually got fruit on some of these. Some of these raspberries here are actually an autumn fruiting variety. Now you have to sort of treat those slightly differently to your standard summer fruiting ones. I've shown you before how you take out the dead wood, the wood that's had the fruit on this year, you remove, you leave all the new growth in. You have to hang fire a bit on the autumn ones, and it's probably better to prune those midwinter, January, February time. To promote growth for those. They're a little bit sort of 2 or 3 months aside, or a couple of months aside from the normal summer fruiting ones. Much the same principle though. You let them mature, you harvest the fruits, and then remove the old wood or the old canes. So this is now complete, my raspberry hedge. It's got a few gaps in it. There's 1 or 2 gaps up here. I have found a few raspberry plants in the garden here that I have transplanted. They look a little bit withered and dry at the moment. Over winter they'll settle down, and hopefully next year they should start to throw up new growth. It's going to be a couple of years before this is fully established and starts to produce fruit right across here on a regular basis. It had been neglected somewhat before. It's taken a little bit of graft, a little bit of work to get this sorted, but it's now up and running and going to be a fabulous hedge of raspberries. Just a quick look at this little area in the middle of my plot. It's almost central. There's a clump of raspberry growing here that clearly has not been looked after over the years. It's got an awful lot of dead wood in it, quite a bit of weed, and I haven't tackled this patch yet. I'm about to sort it out. I may be able to transfer some of these plants into the hedge of raspberries. Not sure whether I might leave some in spot here. And right behind it, you can see here now, because I've taken some grass and weeds down, here we have a rhubarb. So very pleased. If I just get my hand down and give that a pull, look at that. What a lovely stick of rhubarb. So we've got rhubarb on the plot. I'm not sure I want to keep it in that spot though. So we're approaching the time, sort of September, October. I'll be lifting that crown and repositioning it back behind the raspberry hedge, where I fully intend this area behind me here to be the fruit area. I want to make a raised strawberry bed in there. I need a few more fruit bushes, maybe gooseberry, blackcurrant, that sort of thing, and the rhubarb. And we do like using rhubarb. We love a rhubarb crumble, and it's great for making jam. Rhubarb jam's lovely, and indeed rhubarb wine. And if you look back through my videos, I think it comes under the playlist of the pub under the stairs, you'll see there's a 5 video series on how to make rhubarb wine. Well, I've got a few things to do today. I'm going to crack on. I think Bev might be joining me later. If we do get up to anything, we'll be getting the camera or the phone or whatever out and making some video footage of that, and maybe I'll get the chance to introduce you to Bev. She's a lovely lady, and as I said, she's keen to get a little bit involved in Plot 24 and indeed the Life's Good. So, whatever you're doing, you look after each other, you stay safe, be happy, come back and see us soon. Please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. That really does help the channel. It does help promote us on the YouTube world, as it were. Give us a thumbs up, and if you like to share us with your friends, that would be terrific too. So we'll come back and see you soon with more stories, anecdotes and how-tos here on Plot 24 in The Life's Good. Bye bye everyone.